everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my video where I read some of the lowest rated books on my TBR, and I'm actually really excited for this video. So I have all of my books on Goodreads. I know some people love Goodreads, some people don't. For me it works pretty well. I set it so it showed me the lowest rated to highest, and I really got some surprises. So books I'm excluding from this video is ones that I've got from NetGalley that haven't been published yet. I think they've not had time to get out there and get a fair rating yet, so their ratings currently are pretty low. I'm not going to read those for now. So I've got books I've got physical copies of that are on my Kindle, that are audiobooks, and I'm hoping to read maybe do a few of these videos and read 2 or 3 during a video. It depends how long I waffle for, and we all know that I can do that a little bit. So the first book I'm going to read is The God of Driving, How I Overcame Fear and Put Myself in the Driver's Seat with the Help of a Good and Mysterious Man. This is by Amy Fine Collins. Now, I was really excited for this. So this is a socialite, really, who takes driving lessons with this really sweet patient guy to overcome her fear of driving. Now, I picked this up a while ago. I was involved in an accident. Some guy, he pulled out in front of me in another car. We crashed, wrote our cars off. He drove on. And it really put me off driving for quite some time. As you know, if you've watched my videos, you've probably seen me in the car at times. I do drive locally, but it's put me off. So I picked this up not long after the accident, and because I suppose I started driving again just even locally, I never went back to it. And it came up as the lowest rated book on my TBR, so I thought, well, actually, let's go for it now. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading this. So I'm going to start this book over the next couple of days, and I'll let you know how I get on. I don't think it's overly long. It's about 300 pages, but there don't seem to be a lot of text on each page. And it's not got some brilliant reviews, to be honest. It's a little bit like not very helpful. I mean, it's not advertised as a self-help book for getting over your fear of driving. It's just somebody else's experience of it. So a part of me wonders if people rated this low because, like me, they picked it up initially to think it would help them get over their fear of driving. Maybe, you know, actually now reading the full synopsis, that's not the purpose of this book. And maybe people were disappointed for that. But I'm looking forward to it. So I'll catch up with you once I've started it. So it's Wednesday evening, the other half's at work, I'm snuggled under the sofa, and I'm going to continue with The God of Driving. I started this yesterday. I've only got about 2 chapters in, but so far we've met Amy, we found out about what she does for work, why she's scared of driving, and we have now met her instructor. She has had her first lesson, which went all right, and her new instructor seems very nice. So far, so good, and I'm looking forward to continuing. So it's a bit later, I've come up to bed, but I just want to catch up with you while things are fresh in my head. So I've read about another 6 chapters of The God of Driving, and I'm a bit split. So the story itself is fine. She's discussing her driving lessons, her friendship that's building with the instructor. Like, she's documented the conversations that they've had, that, yeah, confidence is improving and this, that and the other, and it's great. But she's used some really dodgy sexuality stereotypes that is nonsense and totally unnecessary. And I think, oh, I'd kind of started to like you, love, you know, I thought the book was doing all right. I thought you were okay. And now I'm a bit like, oh no, hang on, I don't much care for that. So I'm a little bit split now. I kind of want to keep reading to find out what happens, basically, and how she gets on. But at the same point, I'm a little bit grumpy with her. So, as I said, I'm going to call it a night now anyway. And I'll see if I want to continue it in the morning. So I have been continuing with The God of Driving. I just had a bath hill. I was just going to chill for the afternoon, and I was going to read a little bit more. The only problem is she's really annoying me. So we haven't had any more inappropriate stereotypes, etc. mentioned, but now she's just beginning to get a bit whiny, and it's bothering me. So she's now met another one of her driving instructor students, and she thought that she was the only one that he told these things to and went these places with. I mean, there's nothing sexual in it yet, so just, you know, no. But she thought basically that she was special, and she's obviously very clearly jealous about it, and we just got a little bit whiny about it. And it's bothering me. So I'm beginning to understand the low rating, but I am determined to push on a little bit more with the book. I think I'm not even quite a third in yet. So to me, if I'm going to DNF it, I want to know that I've given it a fair shot. So I'm going to push on. But that being said, I'm only finding that I'm reading 1 or 2 chapters a day from this, and then I kind of had enough. So I'm going to start the next lowest rated book on my TBR to sort of read alongside this one. And that is All the Things We Didn't Say by Sarah Shepherd. Now, when I got this, I was quite excited to read it, and I'll read the back of it for you now. It says, all families have secrets, but this is one that could destroy everything. Tragedy came one summer's night, a teenage party. Emotions running high, followed by a horrific car crash. A girl is left dead, and a boy is forced to leave his hometown, bearing a secret that he will carry forever. Years later, Summer grows up believing that our genes define who we are. Her teenage years are marked by absence. Her beautiful, aloof mother abandons the family without a trace, and her father descends into mental illness, haunted by a lifelong burning secret. A compelling story about what happens to you as a child never leaves you, how the fallibility of your parents can make you stronger, and how being right isn't as important as being wise. All the Things We Didn't Say uncovers the secrets of the past and the hidden corners of our hearts. Now, that sounds all right to me, but again, we're looking at a less than 3 rating on Goodreads, so it's just a bit of a shame, but I thought we'll give it a go. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better than The God of Driving, but I'll keep you posted. So tonight I've got little man here while Dean's at work, so I'm probably not going to be able to vlog later. If I can, then great. If not, I'll catch up with you tomorrow, where I would have started All the Things We Didn't Say and read a little bit more of The God of Driving. So I'll speak to you soon. So you know how I said I was hoping this to be better than The God of Driving? Okay, it's not fair. I'm 2 chapters in, and I really don't know if I'm going to even continue. But I'm one of those, I really don't like DNFing, because I convince myself that as soon as I DNF a book, it's going to pick up in like a chapter or 2, and I'm going to miss this massive twist, or it's just going to get really interesting. So to DNF that in, I think, no, I'm going to continue a little bit more, but I'm actually going to go back to The God of Driving for a while and just cope with the whiny one. So, okay, so one of them's got to pick up, right? I have just finished The God of Driving, and for me, we're talking 2.5 out of 5 stars. So I've rounded up on Goodreads to 3 because it did invoke a lot of good memories, a lot of warm, fuzzy memories. So that's why I rounded it up on Goodreads. However, it was a 2.5 really. She was getting on my nerves. It became very fact heavy about different cars and bikes, which I admit just doesn't really interest me at all. You know, great. She sort of overcame a fear of driving. All power to you, love. But we just sort of also went from her instructor being like this nice, sweet guy to almost seeming a bit arrogant towards the end. And I don't know. I'm pleased I read it because of the warm, fuzzy memory invokingness. However, wasn't well. Roll on next book. I'm ploughing on through this. Okay, I really don't like DNFing a book, but I'm really struggling to read it. I'm only about a third of the way in, and I feel like I've been reading it forever. I don't know, things are happening in, like, you know, that Summer's gone back to where her dad grew up. There's a funeral, she's meeting people, there's a bit of animosity between characters, particularly one that she's almost been flirting with, and her brother, and I really wanted to find it interesting, and I'm really not. I'm determined to persevere. This is like my anti-DNF thing, just in case I miss something that's interesting. But it's not for me. I wish I could tell you exactly why it's not for me. The writing style's not for me, I think. But I'm trying to establish why, because it's quite conversational, and normally I quite like that in a book. I like a bit of description in a book, but not where it's too description heavy, and I don't think this is too description heavy. It's not moving particularly slowly. I think maybe it's just the story itself, it's just not wow. I can't quite put my finger on it, but who knows what'll happen. I'm still reading it. I'm almost halfway, but I am struggling with it, and now a little bit more. First of all, I was struggling because of the writing style. Now I'm struggling with it because there's a character having ECT, electroconvulsive therapy, for depression, and I know that happened in the past, but I didn't see that coming in a book, and it just kind of threw me a little bit, and it's not particularly nice to read. This is really heavy, really emotional. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm just not quite in the right frame of mind to read a book that's like that. But I'm going to continue. I've just sat down and finished this. And I don't genuinely think I have ever given another book a 1 out of 5 stars before. The countless times I admit I was going to DNF it, and I'm like, no, Soph, just keep reading it because it's going to pick up. It was so heavy. We had racism going on. There was the depression being treated by electroconvulsive therapy, family death, you know, I mean, we're talking a heavy book, right? But there just never seemed to be a let up, and it was just so boring as well. I'm genuinely disappointed because when I read the back of this, when I picked it up last year, I was really excited to read it. And unfortunately, it wasn't for me. I'm sure there are readers out there that are going to love it. Personally, my own personal opinion, that is all, it wasn't for me. So, I've read the 2 lowest rated books on my TBR. I can kind of understand why they were rated not so great. I'm pleased that I still gave them a go because they're books that I wouldn't have picked up for a while had I not been doing this video. I don't know, I kind of had hoped that I would read one of the lowest rated ones and just go, how was that rated low? That was amazing. But these things happen. So I'm going to continue now with the rest of my the books that I have on the go at the moment, and I will catch up with you soon.